the first cat I drew on this channel, Deer. It's been a year since I've uploaded the video, and I figured I should give him a redraw to see how I improved. I do like the redraw a lot better, and I'm really happy with how I've progressed through the year. And I figured I'd finally go over Deer's backstory because I said I was going to in the description of the last video, but I never did. So I figured it's time to give my boy some justice and just quickly go over what his whole life was like. And yes, his entire life. So get ready, because the next part's going to be scripted, and I might sound a little bit like a robot. Deer was born to his mother, whose name was Doe, and his father, who he hardly got to know due to the fact that he abandoned them while Deer was young. Deer had 3 littermates, his brother Elm and his 2 sisters, who were nameless due to they passed away shortly after birth. He was born in a city as a stray. Deer and Elm tried everything they could to keep their mother alive, even at such a young age. Things got even worse and better at the same time when they took in a young tomcat named Glacier, who's only a little older than them. They became a happy family, but soon enough the city could not support them. So Deer and Glacier moved their mother to the outskirts of the city, or rather known as the dump. While hunting one day, though, a hawk swooped down and nearly killed Deer, resulting in him losing a leg. There was tons of rats and mice here, and they were well fed for a while. Deer even learned how to hunt with his new injury. Until Elm started disappearing more and more often, stating he was more interested in a family of his own. But Deer, even at a young age, knew he didn't want to mate or kits, so Elm's feelings only confused him. But Deer was growing bored of his life as well. Not long after, Deer saw Glacier walking with a beautiful she-cat through the forest. He hadn't talked about her yet, so Deer spied on the two. This led to the discovery that the she-cat lived with a small group of cats who were searching for a new land to call home. Deer didn't hesitate to ask to join them. It just felt right. These cats were strange, though. They had weird names and spoke of how 2 legs were disappearing and the world was ending. The she-cat that Glacier was hanging out with was called Fallen Sight, and she was blind, hence her name. Soon, they were ready to keep moving, and Deer found that he really fit in with these cats. But he couldn't bring himself to tell Doe, Elm, and Glacier that he was leaving. But the day came, and Glacier decided to come with them, along with Doe. Elm was nowhere to be seen, though. That's when Deer's new journey started. He became close with the others quickly, bonding a lot with the she-cat Dawnbriar, gaining himself a jealous enemy named Lake Whisker, who was Dawnbriar's mate. But after the Deer worked it out with Lake Whisker that he wasn't really interested in becoming mates with his mate, the two became quite close as well. On their journey, they met 2 sisters on an old abandoned farm, Cherry and Rain. They agreed to join the journey and they set off from there. But Leaf Bear came early and they were forced to make a hard choice. Cross a frozen river that would save them a lot of time, or go all the way around, which would be a lot longer. Glacier convinced Fallen Sight that the river was just easier, despite Deer and Lake Whisker being skeptical. Unfortunately, the ice broke and Lake Whisker fell through. With his bad leg, Deer couldn't save him, and Dawnbriar was furiously devastated. This made Deer come to the conclusion that he had to be a father figure for these kits. That's what Lake Whisker would have wanted, and Dawnbriar couldn't do it alone. And that's when they found their new home, very shortly after. It was beautiful and full of cats that claimed that their 2 legs were abandoning them due to how bad the air was getting. No one knew where the 2 legs truly went, but no one really cared. They were more focused on starting their new life. Soon after, Dawnbriar gave birth to 4 kits, all healthy. One was even named Lake Dream, after Lake Whisker. But as the kits grew older, everyone became older too, and they realized that this just wouldn't work out. Everyone was arguing, especially Fallen Sight and Glacier, ever since they became mates. They had different ideas of leading. Along with Appleflash, who was another Tom in the group, had his own idea of leading completely, and really wanted to. So this came to the final decision that everyone would have to pick sides. After seeing how terribly Glacier was treating Fallen Sight, Deer chose the hard choice and chose Fallen Sight over his own brother. This devastated Glacier. But eventually Glacier ended up pushing the line with Fallen Sight, going as far as to forcing her into having kits when she wasn't ready. Fallen Sight attacked him which gave him a terrible scar across his eye, and Deer chased out Glacier, his own brother. This made sure that Glacier and the rest of his group would never return to the area. Doe went with them, which left Deer heartbroken. He didn't understand why his mother would choose his own adopted brother over him. But he didn't argue her and let her go with him. He never saw the two of them again, along with the other cats that went with them. After that, Deer was appointed as Fallen Moon's deputy. She was very excited to be starting her own clan, and so was Deer. He knew it was a hard choice that he would have to be choosing her over all the other friends, as they had all grouped into different clans with their own traditions. But Deer liked Fallen Clan the most, and chose to become the deputy, and shortly after he outlived all the rest of his friends, all the originals, all the founders, and this absolutely broke him. Yes, he was very happy to get the chance to lead Fallen Clan, but he had no one to look for at gatherings, no family, no friends. He stayed loyal to his clanmates till the end, though, and was named Deer Moon eventually after Fallen Moon's sudden passing. It hurt him a lot when she died, but he understood that everyone dies eventually, and that it was just her time. He felt extreme survivor's guilt after this. I know it's quite late for him to feel survivor's guilt, but he just kept seeing Lake Whisker in his dreams, and felt that maybe he could have done more if he had just been quicker. Despite that, Deer did eventually die due to a hawk attack, which was what he lost his leg to. He saved 3 kits from the hawk, and as it was swooping at them. He didn't want these kits to have to lose their leg like he did. But it did end up killing him and taking 2 of his remaining lives. Deer was grateful to finally be over with his life, despite everything, and he was very happy to reunite with everyone, including his own mother, Doe. He never did see Elm again, and he wishes he would have. He wonders what his true littermate got up to in life. And that's everything for Deer. And it is rambling time again, because I have a lot of stuff to go over that I didn't get to go over, and I am so sorry for any of the fuzzy noise. That's because my computer is super loud, and I am not great at recording, so you guys will just have to deal with it. I'm sorry. Anyway, some stuff I didn't go over was that the main clans, which ended up being Fallen Clan, Dawn Clan, Slate Clan, Eel Clan, and one more, but I haven't read my series in a while because I made it a long time ago, so I do not remember what the last one was called. And I apologize for that. But if you guys want to hear about any of these other characters that I mentioned, I would be so up for that. I had so much fun making this video, and I actually did like how a lot of the drawings turned out. Some of them were iffy, but then there was some that I really liked, like this current one that it's on. I liked this one for some reason. I don't know why. And this is the only drawing there was of Doe, and I absolutely love her character, and I wish she was in it more too. And if anyone's wondering what did happen to Elm, I could probably do a video about him, but yeah, he kind of just disappears and was only in one picture as well, and there's reason for this, but again, I can't say anything in case I do make a video about him in the future, and I apologize that I just keep bringing him up. Anyway, who was your guys' favorites? I would love to hear about them. And also, one last thing I'm going to bring up is about Moon Clan, which in my fan-made series, they don't believe in Star Clan because I wanted to be unique when I was younger, and I decided not to change this because I got lazy. And they believe in Moon Clan, and that the stars in the skies are actually still dead cats, but the moon is like the main clan, like you want to get to the moon but you gotta shoot for the stars type thing. And yeah, so, and also I didn't really like the star suffix. I didn't like the cats got that, and I preferred moon, and I just thought it sounded prettier. So yeah, they believe in Moon Clan. Yay, Deer Moon. And for the record, for anyone who didn't understand, Fallen Sight and Fallen Moon are the same people. So that's it, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'd love to do more of this in the future.